Well, good evening, everybody. Another smooth opening here of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. We are in a very special because we are show number 199. Well, good evening, everybody. It's a perfect day for the Jimmy Palumbo. That's right. You know why? Because it is fucking freezing here in New Jersey. I know I have an international fan base. Some of my fans over there in Antigua here at the stadium. It's windy. It's cold. It's awful. I decided to wear my Ruben Sierra shirt, which you can see proudly here. Now, how many people today in the world are wearing a Ruben Sierra t-shirt? I think just me.
I'm gonna go one of one. One of one.
Why? My nephew Jimmy Riccardi, and my other nephew Jair Riccardi. They know I love Ruben Sierra, and they also love Giancarlo Stanton. So I'm getting all shitty Yankee jerseys, t-shirts. That's all I want, and it's such an ugly looking thing. It's great. So I got wearing the Ruben Sierra shirt here. And of course, show number 199. And of course, those of you scoring at home, if you want to call this the Aaron Judge show, go ahead. That means you really don't watch my show. Of course, Tyson Hogan with a quick post here. You're pretty close right there. It's definitely Steve Diassi's favorite show. Chris Canty. And what's unique about Chris Canty, Dave?
There's nothing.
Well, he played for the football Giants, and he also played for the Star. Also, Antoine Woods. Nobody knows who that is. Antoine Woods. One of my there you go. One of your favorite players. Also, Mark Gastineau. And, of course, I think one of the things you forget, if we're going to go talk about Judge, you got to go with the great one, number 99, on the Edmonton Oilers, your friend and mine, Wayne Gretzky, but that's not what the opening show is. There really wasn't many 99s.
You're missing one of the greatest 99s of all time.
Okay, who is it?
It's a fictional character, but it's still a 99. And
fictional character. Probably a show that was popular when I was already 35 drinking at Leggett's.
Bullshit. It is none other than Ricky. The Wild Thing Vaughn wore number 99.
That's true. You're right. But even that movie was past my. Come on, that's no beer league.
So great.
No, that's there's
no beer league.
Yeah. And here we go in the first round, taking on beer league. Quick three. Beer league jumps out ahead. Showed up now. Listen, behind the glass, of course, is your friend and mine, Agent 99. Great one by Johnny Kelly out in LA. That's a show that goes goes way back. She was hot too. I forget her name. Get Smart. You don't remember that show. I do the show I do this show really for Dave's father, and he doesn't listen. I do this show for
my brother listens more than my dad, I think, lately.
That's it. Well, your brother's another cowboy jerk off, but I don't really know your brother. I have to get to know your brother a little bit.
He's me actually dialed up, if you can believe that.
Wow, as a cowboy fan, even. No, he's more mature. He doesn't have the ego the size of the star on the stadium at the 50-yard line.
No, that's me. But no, he's more reserved, and he's gotten angry with me this year when it's 3rd and 6 in the first quarter. I'm like, listen, if they don't convert this, fucking forget the game.
Listen. Well,
first quarter, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but still.
First of all, the way you're talking there is going to lead me into something later on in the show, which we're going to fully discuss. But anyway, we got Dave Sturcho here, and he's also got another podcast called All Mic'd Up, or Up the Mic, or Shove the Mic Up Your Ass. What is it called?
Eventually. It actually just released a new episode today.
I did not listen yet.
It literally came out 8 minutes ago. Turn my mic up.
Turn my mic up.
And this week I dive into the weekend that was. So
listen, you took my my podcasting class, which is available for $7,000 for a week, and I said, hey, the Dave Sturcho show. We had to go and all revved up and no place to go.
I don't have the notoriety to have. I just don't.
I'm sitting in front of a beer league poster wearing a Ruben Sierra shirt. My credibility, not exactly.
Your body, your choice, Jimmy.
You don't want to play. You do not want to play me in that noon game on Thursday, though. Suddenly it's 19. Dying breed. Will Payne here jumping in on me. We have this like thing that I can read, so it makes no sense if you listen to the audio thing. But I believe it or not, I have fans of the show, and they listen and they bust my balls. That's I love it. Well, of course, we also do the baseball card thing. Now, this guy, you don't remember him, but he is, to me, and it's been written if you Google him, which you'll do later on, because I know you do post-podcast research, Dave. This guy is really the prototypical current player. This guy would be making probably $19 million a year, and his name is Rob Deere, okay? Now, you're going to love this because Rob Deere played right field and first base, and he was born in Anaheim. He played from 84 to 96. His batting average, 220. 12 years in the league, 11 years in the league, batted 220, 3,800 at-bats, 230 home runs. Played with the Giants, Milwaukee, Detroit, Boston, and Padres. I remember him mostly with Milwaukee and Detroit. His best year, he only batted 252. He led the league in strikeouts 4 times, so you know right away he's my favorite player.
It's Giancarlo.
On a 162-game average, he averaged 198 Ks. He's drafted in the 4th round. He was one of those guys, like when he was with the Brewers in the offseason, he worked with his dad's construction company, which you got to love that. But in 1999, he set the lowest batting average, a.k.a. Gallo. He batted 179, which was
nice.
That's back in 1999. That was considered very low. And then I love this. He became a hitting coach with the Padres. But he's also known as a guy they call it. Have you ever heard of this thing called the 3 outcomes?
No.
The 3 outcomes in an at bat. It's a saber. It's a sabermetric thing they do, and it's strikeout, home run, or walk. And 49.7% of his at bats, he either struck out, hit a home run, or a walk. So that's crazy. Nice. And now listen. I think Giancarlo is definitely one of those. Certainly, Judge has got to be up there as well. He's mentioned in articles now when you Google him with Joey Gallo all the time, which means you stink. But to me, he'd be a huge star today. He's also like a really good guy. Shows up at all the old timers days and signs autographs.
Yeah, what else is he gonna do?
But he also like is a guy who admits like, I was trying to hit a home run every time. Like he's totally like, but he played 11 years. I love these guys. These baseball guys. The reason why I do this is because you think these guys. That's one good thing about baseball. You don't get in the league till you're 26, okay? And then you don't get out till you're 38, even if you stink. Where the NBA, you get in when you're 12, and you're back in your junior year in high school when you stink. It's crazy to me how that works. In the NFL, you get in at 21, and by 25, you are gone. That's how it works. But Rob Deere, I know my brother definitely remembers Rob Deere. Anyway, I got to give a big shout out to my Patreon. I don't want to say we're mired in a slump. New year, we got mired. When we're mired, it's got to be like, a real slump, like Judge in the playoffs. It's not. We're solid at 47. I got to give a shout out though to Rob Pastor, Louis Vicdomini for a quick 3, and Big George Mike DeMosi. I realized that some of the early guys have been with me the entire run here on Patreon. I really want to say thank you very much. And hopefully in the new year, I'll be setting, well, we're in the new year, but hopefully in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be setting up some Patreon-only shit. I'm not sure how to do that. I'll probably be working with you on that. Maybe we'll do some crazy, more work for Dave. But that is it there. Now, listen, it's the new year. You've had all your holiday celebrations, right, Dave? I know you have. Your kids all over, Christmas gifts. And you know what? I got good sources to really say that your carpets are filthy. And, your wife does listen to the show. It's always insulting the wife because you don't care. Your kid, Miles is spilling shit. Miles spills shit all over the place. Cheerios all over. Cheerios. Did you go through the Lucky Charms phase where all they eat is the marshmallows?
That's literally where we are right now.
Okay, that's it. Natalie's 15. She just got out of that like a year and a half ago.
Oh, great.
I would go to a box of cereal, see it there. I mean, sometimes you grab a box, you stick your hand in it, and it would be just no Lucky Charms in that box. It's like when you get those scratch-off tickets that are $1 at the very end.
I can polish through like a box of Cheerios by myself, dry.
Oh, for sure.
On a sit down. Like I haven't done it in a long time, but like
no, you give me a good game that's on. I'm like a Monday night game you don't really care about, and someone throws a box of cereal with my hand right in. That thing is gone. I even get the bag out and get all the sugar down. Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ!
It's a perfect day here. But listen, filthy carpets mean Oxy Magic USA OXY MagicUSA.com. You got to go talk to Tom and Natalie over there. Listen, this is a great thing. I use it here. My carpets, I got it done right before the holidays. I may have to stretch round 2 for a little bit, but I got light carpets here at Shea, and this stuff is great. It dries really quick, about 3 hours maybe. It's all green. There's no hoses all over the place. The guy comes in, he helps you move the furniture. It's so easy to do. They're great people. Go to Oxy Magic USA. That's OXY. Also, you can join me and Dave in possibly financing your own company and getting a franchise. I've been in negotiations with Dave's wife regarding some possibility of owning a franchise. Okay, but she wants to wait till Miles is a little older so he can tag along and help Dave
put him to work.
We're thinking about doing a live podcast while we clean the carpets. Which would be great, but they offer 0% financing. Go check this out. They're a big sponsor of the show. I played pickleball with Tom and Natalie. She's a doll. He's a good player. He kicked the shit out of me last week. OxyMagicUSA.com. Well, all right. First of all, we got to talk about Rutgers basketball. Now, I was supposed to bring Dave Sturcio to the game, but he got dad duties. And, can I relate to that? Sometimes you just get knocked out of bounds inside the Miami.
All right, can I just come clean?
You didn't want to go.
No. Last night, and I did have dad duties through, and I probably it could have been one of those like pick me up with 15 minutes to go till tip. And like I could have probably swung it.
Right.
Last night was the very first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix at 8:00, and I couldn't miss it. Professional wrestling made its way to Netflix live stream, and it was incredible. And I was like,
so for the 84th time, you used your kids as excuses.
No. Yeah, I did a little bit. Like I said, I would have been pressed.
I'm glad you didn't tell me that because I would have been like all over your shit.
I know,
but I respect it. Listen, I've blown off activities to watch Rutgers games, which is a shame. But anyway, I went with my buddy Mark Margagliata. A couple of things. First of all, my brother's seats are. I literally if I stick my hand out, I can maybe get a hand on the ball. I mean, I'm right. Like I can. And this whole thing, I've always said, the players can't hear you. Yeah, they can. and let me tell you, first of all, the people that sit around me, the people behind me are cool. And the people, some people no one, when you sit in the expensive seats, no one's allowed to be a fan. Like when you sit in these seats, you'll be one and done. You'll go one game, and I'm like, Dave, you can't talk like that in front of these people. Like I was during the warm-ups. If you and I were there, especially if we got there early, we had a couple pops on us. The Rutgers was heading into the game was 8 and 6. Okay. 8 and 6 heading into this game. 1 and 2 in league. No, of all the prognosticators, nobody has us going to the NCAA, and very few have us going to the NIT with supposedly the 2nd and 3rd pick of the NBA draft on our squad. Now, let me get something out of the way right away. All Rutgers fans, Cooper Flagg. There's Cooper Flagg and everybody else. He's by far the best player going to come out of the draft. So you go to the game, and the Rutgers Stadium now is electric. They got lights, red stuff all over. It's like this new thing because we've been decent the last couple of years. It's cool. I get it. It used to be very boring. The announcer would go, ladies and gentlemen, Rutgers starting lineup, and that's all they would do. There was no music. There was nothing. So I get this whole thing.
Now it's the 96 Bulls.
Okay, exactly right. Exactly. Even played it. Yeah, they do that. Exactly what they copy of. So I get to watch the warm-up. So when they're warming up, you're on my seats. I'm right there, right? Dude, laughing, smiling, each player trying to do windmill dunks, missing, balls flying into the audience, everybody giggling, Ace Bailey, Harper laughing, some of the shorter guys who can't really dunk, try to dunk, balls bouncing all over the place. I look at the coaching staff. They're wearing sweatpants. They look like they're hanging out at the Avenel Rec Center. And then I look at the Wisconsin bench, and all I see is an Adult Swim. Every coach in a full suit, okay? And the head coach with the
layup lines.
Not only doing that, shooting free throws. I'll get to that in a second. And the head coach of the Wisconsin, he's wearing one of those brown suits that his wife clearly wasn't home when he left for the office. And I'm like, and he's a little overweight. He looks fucking great. He looks like he knows it. He knows it's the rack. He knows what he's doing. And Rutgers is laughing and smiling and all like as if like, here we go, man, running Rebs, UNLV.
It's Rocky 3, really.
Exactly right.
Okay.
And then the game starts and we're down 12-0. Why? Because they were taking layups to the hole. They were dunking, but they were dunking with two hands on those like dunks where you're like, ooh, that was pain. And then, of course, Rutgers gets to the free throw line. Here comes Ace Bailey, the best player ever to play at Rutgers. And he missed every fucking free throw, which cost us when we cut the score to 6. I don't understand any of this. I don't follow the NBA with draft. I really don't. I know that, like, the NBA draft, the NFL has, 6 rounds? The NBA has 2. But really, after the first 5 picks, everybody else, you're at the end of the bench, ever in the G League.
Yeah.
But and then we realized Harper was like sulking. And then we realized, he still has the flu. Well, let me tell you something, okay, as a fan. And this has nothing, I know people are like, you talk about Rutgers too much. This could be the Cowboys, the Giants, the Knicks. It don't matter. LT did it the best. When you don't feel well, okay, that comes out later on the next day. IV fluids in the locker room. You hear that. When you let everybody know in the building that you don't feel well, okay, then get the fuck off the court and let someone else hustle and play. Clearly, Harper could barely even walk. It's like, coach, get him out of there. The kid's sick. He's 18 years old. He doesn't feel. Get him out of there. But instead, he was sulking. He had 0 points forever. They finally took him out at the half. And then there's Ace Bailey. Okay, I'm bashing these two guys. I wish them well. I don't hate them personally. It's just talk about what you see on the court. At one point, he had 9 points. And then a little bit later on, he still had 9 points. And then I went for a beer. I got those little pretzel nuggets. I took a piss. I came back. He still had 9 points. And then Wisconsin scored another 10 points. And then I looked up, and Bailey still had 9 points. I don't even know what he finished. I'm guessing he might have finished with 9 points. And everyone's like, oh, man, just to see those two guys play. I'm like, really? If I didn't read all these articles or knew how good Ace Bailey was, I would be like, who is this freshman punk? Get him out of there. He got a couple of key rebounds. Well, he got 1 rebound. That was his best play because he jumped higher than everybody, and he grabbed it. Good for you. Now hit your free throws and make shots. The Rutgers, they look so disjointed. That guy Martini from Princeton looks like he should be bartending at Leggett's. He probably will be No, he went to Princeton. He'll be doing something better than that. But what a mess. And the fans finally, about 10 minutes in, they called a timeout when they Wisconsin, and here come the Boo Birds. I was like, yes, you got to know the coach. Got to remember, these are all paid players. I'm willing to bet every Rutgers player makes more than the average school teacher. So there you go. There's the kids.
Absolutely criminal.
Listen, every Rutgers player makes more than you and I do. So, when I do a shitty podcast, I catch shit for it from Will Pena and Tyson Hogan and Darryl Clark and Johnny Kelly. And so it's like, this is what a mess. And then and at the end of the game was the worst. Like 3.5 minutes left, you're down by like 13. And there's some fans like, well, hit a couple of quick threes. Hit a couple of threes. This is awful. There was such the student section rolled out. I left minutes ago. It got quiet. Oh my, what a horrific experience. Another 287 ride home. I am so sick of that. If anybody doesn't know New Jersey, there's a road that I got to take home. It's a big super highway, and there's no lights, there's nothing, and you're sitting there, and then you put the post-game show. Oh my God. This team is going nowhere. I can't wait till these 2 players leave, go to the NBA, have fun. And I want to get back to where we have these little scrappy guys and we play defense and we, so you're more happy when they win. So the Rutgers game was awful. That's how I feel about that. But I'm still a big Rutgers fan. You can't take it's in my blood. I just love it. Anyway.
Listen, man, you just want the team to perform, and unfortunately, Jimmy, you know this as much as I do. Like, it's a different generation now, man. Like, everybody needs to know everything about everything at any moment. Like, right. So if this dude has the sniffles, you're gonna know about it, right? And that's just the way it is. And unfortunately, yeah, back in the day, you're like, wait, Jordan played with food poisoning. What was that?
Exactly right.
55 points. I had no idea. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like
first of all,
you know way in advance.
First of all, if my brother was Dylan Harper, he definitely would have played the whole game, and he definitely wouldn't let anybody know he feels like shit. Anyway, listen. I thought this year we were going to be exciting to watch and big time and all that, and we're not. And this will be almost like the third or fourth year we don't make the tournament. It's awful. The Giants.
Can we talk about how pointless the NIT is forever going to be?
Please, 3-letter tournaments. You know what? The NIT reminds me of this podcast. You know what? I'm going to call it the Jimmy Palumbo NIT show. That's exactly what. Anyway, that's a terrible bust.
Oh, by the way, my latest podcast episode is actually entitled "It Feels Good to Be Appreciated."
Okay, all right.
So clearly, that doesn't apply to the Jimmy Palumbo show.
I appreciate everything you do for my show. There's some days I do feel like the NIT tournament.
Yeah, well,
which means Penn State will go to the finals. Look up Penn State's record in the NIT. I don't think like the Chiefs don't have as good a record as Penn. They are when Penn State gets it.
It's like
doesn't matter. You still got to win it.
Trying tournament. It's so bad.
My cousin John says Penn State makes the NIT. We're going to the Garden for the finals.
Oh God,
I'm with you. Then they had that other one. Remember that other shit? They had another sub NIT called like the CBBA tournament that took like 10 of them. What is this? Awful.
This is just as bad as this in-season NBA Cup.
Oh, please.
And of course, I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke until the Knicks are in the semis, and I'm like, hey, listen,
I know you did that. You were like, the piss they lost. Anyway, and it's another thing. They get $1 million bonus. You guys are making $30 million a year.
Yeah, like $1 million to them is a drop in the bucket.
The Giants played to lose finally on a cold, miserable day in Philly. Oh my God, there comes the jug. That's my favorite part of the show. I think if we were a big time show, every time you go to the jug, the fans would do a shot. So listen, all my friends that are listening, just do a shot as soon as I mention Dave goes to the huge water bottle.
I'm parched today.
Yeah, well, just buy the shop right too. You have to buy the Poland Springs like you own the place.
First of all, don't forget.
I know you. I hope you reuse that and shove the house water in. The Giants played the
property. Like, no, man, it's fucking $1.59 or whatever. Like, you sit there,
$1.59. You drink.
I'll refill my kids' drinks. Tap water, not fucking me. No,
that's terrible. Hey, it's like the airline.
They got years ahead of them. I'm on the back nine.
Just like
I want my quality water.
Just like the airline, put the mask over you first, bro. There you go. It's airline day here,
which is my favorite part of the whole thing. Like, hey, we're panicking, we're going down. We're doing a nosedive into the ocean, but take care of the person next to you first. I'm like, shit, I'm putting my fucking mask on or whatever the hell. I'm wearing my flotation device.
So true here, Shay. Giants lose, and they played to lose finally by their play calling, and it was fine because the Eagles were also like I still think the Eagles, even though they had nothing to play for, they were dying for Giants to pick ninth. That coach hates the Giants. They got the third pick. Sanders, Ward, Hunter. I don't know. And then you find out Dable and Shane are coming back. They need a quarterback. I don't mind signing Locke for not $5 million. I would sign
Locke. With all the people coming out as free agent, man, go get yourself a stopgap.
For a backup though. For backup,
yeah, but even if honestly, dude, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but even if they get Cam Ward or Shador, like, you really think that guy could step in on day one? I'm telling you
No. I'm just saying. I don't think they're going to take. I think the Giants are going to. I think Sanders and Ward may be gone. The problem is, do you take Hunter? Then you have Neighbors and Hunter at wide receiver. That's interesting.
Absolutely, unless he chooses to play all defense.
But listen, see, just like you don't know what the Cowboys are doing, it's the scouting team has to come to the GM and say, "Hey, this is where we rank this guy," and you got to go with it. You can't go by your gut.
I don't know if you've seen this, but there's multiple reports that like polls are going around on the scouts and the GMs, and Shador and Cam Ward are both not getting first round grades. So if you you cannot draft these guys out of desperation, knowing there's other needs on your team.
The Giants stink so bad. I don't really know who they should draft. I really don't.
If I'm the Giants, I'm drafting like an offensive lineman or a defensive line, like the trenches. That's how it's built, man.
I would love to get the guy.
The Giants are going to have the third pick and the 35th overall. So like you can go grab somebody else later, man. You don't have to just go after this kid because he's the shiny new toy.
But you do need, no matter what you do, you need to have a plan. You need to have a quarterback. Sure. And I'm not smart enough to do either one.
And Jimmy, who's the man with the plan? Joe Shane and Dayball are coming back.
And even John Mara, the worst owner in sports, he was like, yeah, well, I brought him back.
Mary Jones, but go ahead.
Well, he's up there. Noah Jones is older. That's all. That's the main difference. And Mara was like, well, I'm bringing him back. Everybody's going to be mad. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come out and say, I'm bringing him back. This is why. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you very little. Press conference over. And last year he should have said, Shane, sign Barkley by 5 o'clock. Goodbye. But no, he's like, you look like a jerk off. Please. By the way, for the 8th day in a row, I've got my 10,000 steps in. And Jimmy is trying to get.
Let me poll the audience to see how many people actually give a fuck.
I think my Patreon people and Dying Breed Garage here at Shea. Someday I'm going to make him redo an old car for me. What am I doing? Other news here from the Omni.
And by the way, programming though, in just a little bit, we're going to make some picks for the NFL Wildcard weekend.
We will do that
with the ever so awesome Madison Palumbo Show.
But we will do all that. But I think I wanted to let everybody know Squid Game season 2 stinks. Another non sequitur. This show, first of all, a show that dealt with this crazy thing where you play a simple game you played as a kid, but if you lose, you get shot. That's an awesome concept, if you ask me. Like, let's play tic-tac-toe. You lose, you get your head blown off. And the second one, you know what they do?
No, what?
They play Simon Says, and you get your head blown off. It's like we've seen this.
So they're just doubling down on what was successful.
Exactly, and it's it's awful. Concept. It's awful. It's awful. It's not even like at least Rocky in Rocky 9, he fought a different guy. Anyway, No Good Deed. I was watching with Lisa Kudrow.
I finished
first 3 episodes. I was like, I love the show. And then that'll do it here. Final score. I thought the last 4 episodes, that show tanked for me too. I wish I was on it. I think it was shot a pretty long time ago, I'm guessing. And also there's just, you know what? it's just the woke stuff. It's too much for me. It's pounded. It's pounded.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it, Jimmy?
God.
You're a Hollywood guy. Believe it or not, Jimmy.
Oh, my God.
You are.
But I think that's, anyway, it's too much. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because that's not what we do here on the show.
No.
Also, college, what do you call it? Football. Now, there's I think the best game in a long time is the Notre Dame Penn State game. These two teams are good. They play good defense. And I can't wait for that game. Of course, during the game, where will you and I be, Dave?
During the game.
Yeah. We will be at the beer league screening down there at
when is that?
Thursday night.
That's Thursday?
Yes. And you know who's showing up?
Who?
Jim Florentine, Stern guy.
Shit.
Why? Because he plays softball in the league that's sponsoring this event. And, of course, I sent him a text. I go, oh, so good to see you there, Jim. I wanted you in the pilot, but you didn't return my phone call. Now he's all shitty to go.
It's at the Smod Castle, right?
Yeah, it's at Smod Castle. It's not – I don't know. I'm going to find out how ticket sales are. And we're meeting at 6 o'clock at the bar to meet some of the guys. And now you're not going? What do you have on Thursday?
Well, no, I completely – honestly, I forgot about it. There's just so much shit going on, and I forgot about it. But I will – what time is the screening itself?
I think it's 7:30, something like that.
All right, I could potentially make the screening, but I don't know if I can make the beers. So
okay, that's fine. Well, you got to go. Come on.
I mean,
we're showing the pilot.
Out of my control, Jimmy. Like I have a wife that works in New York City, and I have to watch the kids. What would you do in this situation? You want me to bring them to the screening?
And you think you're going to be watching every Cowboy game for the rest of your life? It's just the beginning here. Hey, honey, I got to go to a convention down in Austin, Texas, and that'll do it here.
I'm writing this shit down now so I can
Okay,
bring it up in a fight later.
Show number 4,000. No, I know, dude. You kidding me? You got to do what you got to do, of course. But Notre Dame, Penn State, I don't know who's going to win this one. I'm not a fan of Penn State as a Rutgers fan. I'm not really a fan of Penn State. You all know that. But I've also been, a lot of Penn State fans were like, oh, Franklin stinks. We always lose. And I'm like, you guys are great. And Notre Dame and Penn State, like every guy's a 4-star recruit. Notre Dame had one shitty game. They shit the bed against North Dakota State or one of those schools. And but they're good. Notre Dame is good. I think the winner of that game is going to win it.
I'll tell you who I really fell in love with as a player, and I would if for whatever reason the Cowboys are in a situation where they don't draft Gianti, which all signs point to they will, if he's there, is Scatterborough, is it the running back for Arizona State?
Yeah.
Ooh, little Mike Allstott-esque, like this.
Yeah, you look great. I know.
A little engine that could, bro. He is a beast.
Right.
And
no doubt.
Yeah, it was great to watch him.
Great to watch him play. They fell short, but it was great. I thought the shittier teams played pretty well. They didn't embarrass themselves like Oregon did. Of course, I picked Oregon to win it. I think I'm dead last in the family pool. Now, the Texas-Ohio State game, I hate Ohio State.
Texas fucking throttles them.
I know, me too. But you know what? Okay. I think Ohio State's one of those teams where everybody just assumes they suck now. It's like, oh, their roster has like 27 5-star recruits, though. Anybody like Ohio State, like listen, I've said this a million times. Franklin loses 2 games a year. Day loses a half a game a year. Okay. So like all of a sudden Ohio State's like, oh, Texas, hook them on. Now, I think Ohio State's going to blow them out. I think they're going to win by 20. That's my prediction.
Really?
And any of you Giant fans, well, maybe we'll suck next year to get Manning. I think a general rule as an NFL GM, I'm pretty sure I wrote this rule. If you're going to draft a quarterback who doesn't start for his college team, you don't take him in the first 10 picks. Would you agree with that? When's the last time?
Yeah.
When's the last time someone got drafted who didn't start on his current college team?
Well, I mean, they do have Ewers, Quentin Ewers, whatever. He's a starter. I mean, if you can't get beat out, if Arthur Manning in there and beat him out, rightfully so, beat him out, like then that's a thing. But
I think Manning. Listen, I give the kid credit. I think he got big time NIL money. Probably got $3 or $4 million. Not bad for an 18-year-old. And he's probably wants to go to school as well. And he's enjoying his time at Texas. Awesome campus. I've been there myself. My nephew lives down that way. And shout out to my nephew whose little baby is due like between now and the 15th. So maybe by next
year born.
That was Christopher Jackman. Had a son called Nicholas Jack. So big shout out for that.
He joins the Patreon.
Yeah, he'll be on Patreon. So we need more kids. But I just think Ohio State's gonna win that game big, and I think from there could be. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pick Notre Dame, Ohio State in the finals. But the Notre Dame and I think the winner of the Notre Dame Penn State game is actually gonna win it. I think they're going to be so fired up for the game. They're going to.
I wouldn't be mad to see. I have a lot of people that are like diehard Notre Dame fans. So like, if it's been a while
since
them win the national championship, I think I'll be happy for my friends on that one.
That's it. So we got a big beer league screening coming on Thursday. I'm going to post something it's a private event and nothing to do with us. I got a phone call saying, "Hey, this guy and Jim Florentine was not part of it, but." He was like, I'm going to be there. I play in the league. I was in the movie. I'm like, all right. So he'll be there, and it should be fun.
Have we figured out if they're screening the pilot?
They are screening the pilot, which would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably speak in between. Deej is going to be there. Hopefully you will be there. I'll find out what time the screening is exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to give my old man a ring after this and see if he's available. Because if that's the case, I could drop the kids off and then just go.
Right. We'll see about that. I'll give you more. I'll call Ernie over there at the theater. And, of course, where am I at here now?
How enthusiastic is Ernie going to be when you call him?
Oh, my God. Hello? Yeah. He's
watching paint dry.
I had a former manager who sucks, but I won't give you his name. He was so low-key. I used to joke around like, this is the phone call I could get from him. Hey, Jimmy, yeah, give me a call. You got nominated for Academy Award. I should be in the office till 3. And or the same call. Jimmy, that pilot you auditioned for that would make you a millionaire and put you on NBC for the rest of your life. It's not getting picked up. Call me. I'll be in the office till 4 o'clock. Like, it didn't matter whether good news or bad. Like easy Eli there. I wanted some little enthusiasm here at Shea. But Ernie's been good to us. And hopefully we'll have a nice crowd there. But of course, I'll be wearing the patches of chasingmiracles.com. That's right. Of course, these are stem cell patches. They go on the back of your neck. They look like little Band-Aids, and you go right on. I put one under the belly. Plenty of room down there at Shea. This stuff works. It's no needles, non-invasive. They react with the patch into your body, your skin cells, stem cells, the whole bit. A lot of athletes wear them. You see them all the time with the patches all over the place. There's different sizes, but these were a little smaller, a little more inconspicuous. And what they do, they give you shit your body needs. You wear them for 12 hours, and you take them off for 12 hours. Chasingmiracles.com. You got to talk to Tommy and Donna. They're into this stuff. My mother wears them. Her friends wear them. Dave wears them occasionally. I have them on right now. I don't have the balls to show my gut where they are right now, but maybe a later show I will. On our final show, I will. Right. But go check them out. Chasingmiracles.com. They're awesome. They've been a sponsor of the show for a long time. I love Tommy and Donna for a bunch of reasons. I just got a note here. How's Artie? I haven't spoken to him in a little bit. This is probably a little bit of a long stretch. I haven't spoken to him. A little texting here and there with his family. Artie, Artie's he's still trying to put it all together. We will. That's all I really got to say on that. If I gotta. I don't want. I'll protect his privacy.
It's not your place.
It's not my place. No, I pray for him. I hope for him. Artie's a good guy. He's a much funnier guy in person than he ever was on Stern. I can tell you that. He's an unbelievably talented person. He wasn't just a Stern guy. I've said many times, Artie was making 6 figures before he got Howard Stern, and he made 6 figures after Howard Stern. And in the history of that show, I don't believe anyone except Stern himself can say that. If they were making 6 figures, they weren't making it before the show. And if they made it during the show and then they got kicked off the show, they certainly didn't make that after the show. So Artie is a big-time talent. I pray for him. And hopefully I just feel he'll be back someday, and we'll even get him on the show. Matter of fact, I would love to. Man, it'd be great if we can get him down to the screening. Would be awesome. But that's a little bit hopes and dreams there. But also a big shout out to Artie's friend Al Sonatas. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said his name. Well, it doesn't matter. He's dealing with some health issues, some serious health issues, and we're praying for you, Al. We love you, even though you're a big Seton Hall fan, you fucker. And Seton Hall usually beats the shit out of us. So, although this year they didn't hit a buzzer beater, but praying for you, hoping you get better, you get back out there, and we'll start busting balls again. Now, New Year's Eve passed. Man, what a New Year's Eve I had. I drove my daughter around to her parties, and then I got home, and I got on the couch. I poured myself a bourbon. I had the Christmas lights on. I watched the tree drop, and by 12:17,
the tree drops. By the way,
the ball drops. I had the tree lights on, the ball dropping, the ball bag dropping, and then I watched. I aged between. I figured it out between 11:10 p.m. and 12:17 a.m. when I fell asleep. I aged in dog years because of the different acts and celebrities. I never felt so. I was like, oh my God,
it's terrible, man.
I don't know who these people are.
Listen, for the first time I think ever, I watched like Nashville's New Year's Eve thing.
Right,
so good, so good. Like all the stars were out.
I get it.
You go to ABC and it's like, and here's Spicy Too Fat with her new single. It's like, who the fuck? What?
And then I watch the people in the rain freezing their balls off, and I'm like, oh God. And by 12:17, I didn't even finish my bourbon. I was sound asleep here.
Dude, I caught it. Like, my kids tried. They were gonzo by like about 11:40. We told Stella,
close.
Like,
that's close.
Hey, Stella, we'll wake you up during the she was adamant. She's like, I want to do the countdown. I said, okay, fine. So I'm talking shaking her. I could have dropped an elbow on her and she would have still slept through. I was like, Stella, it's counting down now. Like, Stella. So we taped it and showed it to her the next morning.
That's great. What's great is I remember clearly the first time Natalie survived. She was with her friend's house. There was like 4 girls. God, she's 15 now. She probably was a little bit older than Stella, 7 or 8 maybe. And they were all, we're going to stay up. We're going to stay up. And right around 11 o'clock, she looked like one of those boxers from the 70s when Ali's working the jam a little bit. You can see the legs get wobbly. And all of a sudden, she literally at 10 of, they were all sitting in front of this big flat screen. And I could see all 4 of them were like covering up. I was like, I don't think Natalie's going to make it. Like 10 minutes is the look. She was able to watch the ball drop. They clapped. And I'm telling you, by 12:03, I was holding Natalie. She was sound asleep. We walked down the street. Like, it was like she held on for victory. And then the next year,
my favorite New Year's Eve memory of all time. My grandmother was my favorite person in the world. And
Guy Lombardo.
Later on in her life, I think it might have been like her maybe second to last New Year's. She's at the house. We at New Year's at my dad's. The countdown starts. 10, 9. My grandmother just gets out of her chair, goes to take a piss. And then she comes out. What happened? Why is everybody yelling? And I was like, Graham, you missed it. The thing we've all been waiting for. Like, you just got up and took a piss. Like, so she's like, but she was so distraught when she got out of the bathroom. She's like, why is everybody yelling?
That's great. That's very funny.
Little Rosie.
I remember missing the ball when I was younger a few times. My family was never a big New Year's Eve. I've had some, what used to happen to us when I got older, like in my 20s? During the Christmas week, like it's going to sound like shitty, but from like December 20th to December 30th, we were out. And when you were younger, you were out every night. Everybody was back from college. So like I was drinking like a fish for 10 or 11 days. And by the time New Year's Eve came, was like, I got sick.
Jimmy, I like it was December, I don't know, 27th or some shit. Or 28th or I lost track of the days. Like I was completely, dude, you had to tell me so 3 different times that it was like Thursday. I was like, especially like New Year's Eve falling out. I made this rule and I said, I think I should stick by this. Thanksgiving is always like, it's always a different date because it falls on whatever Thursday of the month in November.
Third Thursday,
whatever. Exactly. That's how bad we don't even know. But what I think they should do, no matter what, New Year's Eve should be the first Saturday night in January, no matter what. When you wake up on Sunday,
but you can't have New Year's Eve on January 2nd.
And then it's Monday to get your ass back in gear. Because it's like for New Year's to happen on a Wednesday, you're like, hey, Happy New Year. Thursday felt like shit. Friday felt like shit. Saturday, I'm like, where the fuck am I? And then
I know.
It took like Friday afternoon. Oh, it was so funny because Thursday, and I'm watching TV. It's at night, and Steph's like, "You're not watching football tonight?" I said, "What?" And I was like, "Wait." And she goes,
"I forgot
Thursday." And I was like, "Oh my god!" But there was no Thursday night football game this past week. But I panicked. I was like, "Jesus Christ, am I missing football?" Like I didn't know what day it was until the weekend.
I felt this year because of the midweek one. I actually took down.
Horrible.
I made the decision. What I did, listen, I'm one of the smartest guys you're ever going to meet. So what I do is, when I'm taking down my Christmas stuff, I wait till the temperature is 9 degrees. That's the way to do it. So I have a little deck off my condo here, and I decided it was literally, I felt like I was on the high seas. The wind was, and I'm taking down, and there's nothing worse. The therapist must be busy as hell this week because taking down your Christmas stuff, putting it up, you're like, let's hear those sleigh bells ringing. You're all excited, right? Your Bing Crosby's in the background. Andy Williams.
And now you got the slow motion. Rolling.
It is like you got BB King on, the Thriller's gone. And then I'm frozen. And then what I do is I'm a masochist. I take the lights in. I always plug them in to make sure they work, and I wrap them around a newspaper. I started plugging lights in, and none of them were working. And I'm like, what? And then I realized you can get them at ShopRite for $4 in December. Okay. And you know what I did? I'm the biggest loser. I'm actually checking each bulb. And I'm like, what? And then it hit me. I was like, Jimmy, you only have 5 sets of lights. That's $20. I was like, if there was any flicker, There was one year, Jimmy,
like ornaments aside, because ornaments are special, and they're like there's. One year there was just lights on the tree and like 2 bulbs were like flickering. I said, "Oh, they're all gone. They're dead." And I fucking threw that bitch on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I
agree. I agree. A buddy of mine, he buys new lights. He's got money, but he literally is like, "Yeah, I just threw everything out. I'm getting new ones." He's like, he doesn't know. There's no like even if one worked, and then I had to put them back. And then you got to organize. You have the bins, right? And of course, you would think, when you're taking stuff out of the bins, you would be like, okay, this goes here. No, you got bins all over the place. I'm putting it, nothing fits. I had to take everything out. I was losing my mind. I was getting depressed, but I got it done over the weekend. So it's just brutal. And some people, I laugh now because now that's even colder. And my buddy's like, my buddy just told me, I'm not taking my lights off until my wife demands that I take them off.
My tree right now, it's January 7th. It looks so depressing. Like the lights
you got a real tree? You got a real one?
Yeah, the lights are off. The ornaments are packed away.
The needles are all over the place.
The trees are. I'm like, okay, I'll take you out eventually. And then it's 12 degrees out. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Well, you know what happened? Well, listen, you got here's how you know you'll get rid of it. Little Stella's going to walk barefoot near the tree, and one of those needles, which, by the way, the needles of a Christmas tree, I think were used in samurai swords. They can go through your toe, through the bone, and come out the other side when you step on them. Stella will step on a needle, and wait till you see how fast you pull the quarterback. Tree's going to be in the middle of the street. Oh, my God. Which brings us to the Golden Globes.
No. Can we just go on to the NFL? Nobody fucking cares about the Golden Globes.
We'll be quick. I know this. You know what sucks about when I watch award shows?
The Penguin won. Colin Farrell won. So that's
there were some upsets there. It's not what I'm talking about. I thought Nikki Glaser had some good jokes in the beginning. I thought they were funny, but I can't buy into that girl. I don't know. She annoys the shit out of me. I don't know why. I'd love to have her on the show, but
becoming forced is what I think. When she's organically rolling, she's funny as shit.
She had some good jokes.
If you tell her she's gonna have a big spot and she rehearses it and it goes over a lot, the delivery's wrong. The delivery's off. 100%.
I don't know, something about it. But you know what happens to me though, and this is something I should tell my therapist. I feel I'm sitting in the suburbs of New Jersey watching the Golden Globes, right? And all these shows and TV shows, which I do like. The SAG Awards and Golden Globes, the one good thing about them is they have TV and film awards. And let's face it, TV and film now with streaming is all one, really, if you ask me. But I feel so far away from it, man. I feel like it's like I'm an actor, and I'm like I'm not close. It's almost like if I was a quarterback and I'm playing at Vermont State. And yet I'm 6'7", and I threw for 8,000 yards last year. I just feel so far away. Nobody's calling me. Nobody. It's like it's weird. I shouldn't feel that way. A bunch of actors up there, even Demi Moore finally got an award. Good for her. She never won a damn thing, right? And there I am sitting there with my bourbon going like, I'm never going to be at one of these awards. And you get like sad.
Don't say that. Like, don't say that. Johnny Drama won real late in his career. So don't
there you go, Johnny. But it's so awful to feel that way. Because to me, the new thing is, listen, and I've said this to some of my comedian friends, if you're listening out there, if you're making a decent living in showbiz and that's really all you do, that's awesome. You won. Now, just because you're not a star and just because nobody knows your name, but if you're making a living doing it, that is where you want to be.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. That was Yogi. He says it's over, Jay.
It's over. Beer league quotes are coming here. I love that. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And so I was not on the Golden Globes. Beer league was not nominated right there. It would easily won.
Do you think Unsuited or anything Tom's doing got nominated?
I don't know. By the way, yeah, the FBI called, the CIA called me. Tom Baldinger
is alive.
They found him.
Yeah.
He was on Route 46.
He was actually right next to where Hoffa's buried.
Yes,
I did not take the plunge.
He told me where Hoffa's buried. I can't reveal that yet. I'm talking to Giant Stadium parking lot where he's exactly where it is. I think it's now lot 4 and it's like 7 spots in. That's where he's buried. It used to be on the 20-yard line.
By the way, Madison just yawned on camera in the green room
because we have a special guest. They found Tom Bollinger, 624 Productions.
The best part is she tried to turn her camera off, and she was like, "Fuck!"
And she's bored to death. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up are my niece Madison, who's bored to death by this fine podcast, is now coming on the show. She's like, "Oh my god, you know what?"
I had a workout class this morning. I'm tired.
Okay, there you go. I know. Listen.
Nice.
I'm giving away spots on my podcast. That's what I do. It's
new year, new Maddie.
I'm the Santa Claus of podcast here at Shea. Well, I guess we're gonna have, instead of a minute from Madison, we're gonna have her live on the show now. So welcome, Madison Palumbo, to our show. How we doing?
Good. How about you guys?
We're doing just dandy here. It's freezing our balls off.
Did you hear about all the excitement about the Golden fucking Globes?
I did. I love Nikki Glasser. I'm literally obsessed with her.
I do too.
Listen, I would like to hang out with her too, just not at a comedy club. Because she's got deep speed. She's tall. She gets that tip in with 5 seconds ago. That's a great joke. It's a great joke, bro. It's a great joke. I used to hang out with tall chicks back in the day. Like, she gets those tip-ins, rebound, tip, then gun at the buzzer. Anyway, Madison, so we're going to discuss today in the not-for-long league, NFL, there happens to be playoffs this weekend. None of the teams I root for are nowhere near, neither are Dave's. So this, who do you like this weekend?
Let's start it off, Maddie. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we got 6 games for the wild card round, so that's pretty exciting. And I think
wild card weekend, by the way, super. Goes into Monday.
Oh, super.
Yeah, it's 3 different days, right? Friday, Saturday, Monday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. And out of the 6 games, I think 5 of them are very interesting. I think one of them is kind of just like a giveaway game.
Right, what's your shitty one?
Yeah,
I think
me and Dave immediately want to hear the shitty one.
The shitty one is Ravens Steelers. I think like the Steelers.
Oh, that's a rivalry, man. That's
I agree.
I know it's a rivalry, but I don't think the Steelers are going to pull it off. They're always above 500. They're always a solid team at the playoffs come, and they never can.
Actually, Mike Tomlin heard Jimmy's commentary about how he never loses it, and he hasn't won since. So,
that's it. But they never stink. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Ravens are going to smoke them.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So
who do you like? Texans, Chargers. Let's start with
I have the Chargers.
Me and Madison agree here. I think Harbour is the man.
Yeah,
he's a winner.
Jimmy? Do you know who they added yesterday?
They had it. Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, my man. Zeke.
Every playoff team needs a 3 yards a carry guy. You know that.
Goal line back, Jimmy.
He'll be starting for the Giants next year. So who do you?
That the Chargers, they were a team this season that everyone kind of forgot about. Like you look back and they're like, oh, the Chargers are 10-6. Like they weren't really talked about a lot, I feel like. And like Lad McConkey, J.K. Dobbins, like Justin Herbert, he's yet to win a playoff game. I think this is the year.
I agree. I'm big on the Chargers. I think they're going to win.
Not to give away a spoiler, but I'm rooting for the Chargers to get to the Super Bowl. I really am. I love Jim Harbaugh, and now Zeke's over there. Like, man, go get your ring, buddy. Go ahead.
The Texans are inconsistent too. I feel like they either put up like 30 points or they just kick a field goal. Like there's no in between.
Yeah. Kai Fairbairn did me well this year because of a lot of field goals. But the Texans are coming into this thing. CJ Stroud, that's a real sophomore slump. I don't care how good the team finished. He don't look good at all. He don't look right.
No.
But the Chargers, man, they know how to run the ball. They're now throwing the ball a little better.
I agree. Obviously, we both like all 3 of us like the Ravens, which brings us to Sunday with Denver Buffalo. Who you got?
Hot take, but I don't know. I think, okay, the Bills are having like a standout year, which they have been for the past like 3 years. But I think this year, like they're really solid. But at the same time, like I don't know. Every time the playoffs come around, I feel like they just shut down. So, and the Broncos are kind of hot right now. I know the Chiefs started none of their starters and like they shut them out. And it was kind of like, I don't know, like an unfair game, I guess you could say. I feel like the Chiefs just lost.
They didn't care. They had the one. They didn't care.
They didn't care, but I don't know. Bo Nix is like lighting it up. He wasn't in the beginning, but now he's like really.
Well,
so you're picking Denver.
Are you picking Denver to win?
I don't know. maybe.
You know why? Because I have Denver as my upset pick of the weekend. You know why?
Yeah.
Even though Allen never gets sacked, I think Denver's got an awesome pass
They
rush.
do.
Mhm.
They're gonna bust his balls.
They
and
they
guess
led
what?
the league. They led the league this year in sacks. Denver's defense is nothing to sneeze at. But
Mhm.
Bo
I
Nix
know.
has had himself a great rookie year. He has, and I think if you look at the quarterbacks that came out of this year's draft, Bo Nix might be the best one. Jaden Daniels.
Listen,
Daniels, yeah.
I would have this a lock for Denver if
But
their quarterback was named Bo Celtics or
Yeah,
Bo
listen.
Bulls, but it's Bo Nix, and right away I think of the Knicks. I think of Thibodeau. He's too fat, slow.
Nah,
Bo
dude.
Towns.
Bo Nix has had himself a nice little rookie campaign,
I
but
know,
he's
he's
about
all right.
to
He's
go
all right.
to Buffalo, my man. And this
It's gonna be chilly,
Not-
They
shitty.
lost at home either. We'll see. I don't know. There's always one big upset. So
there is, but I do not
So
think
we
it's
got so.
Bo Nix over the Bills. I just don't see it.
So you got the Bills.
I
I
got
got I got Denver and Madison. You got to make a decision right
I
now.
have a question mark. All right, I'll go with the Broncos. Why not?
There you go. 2 out of 3. Now we go to Green Bay, Philly.
Green Bay.
Wow.
Are you picking them because you want them to win, or do you actually think they're going to go to Philly and win?
Well, both. I obviously hate the Eagles. Can't stand them. I would love nothing more than for the Packers to knock them out. But I don't know. With Watson's injury, that's going to be a huge miss for the
He's been
Packers.
out for a while. I mean, he's been ticky-tacky for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. Listen, the wounds are still fresh. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys were the 2 seed.
Oh, here we go.
They played a team called the Green Bay Packers as the 7 seed, and the Green Bay Packers went in there and hand them their lunch. So that's exactly what I want them to do to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
And let them feel the pain of thinking that their shit don't stink and the Packers smack them in the mouth. Go Pack, go.
Yeah,
I think it's
defense, and Josh Jacobs has had an awesome season. So if he could just like run his ass off again, I think we'll be all right.
I think Philly kicks the shit out of him. So I'm going to go with Philly. I hate him too. I hope Barkley has 11 yards the whole bit, but Philly's going to win that game. That's my pick. All right. Washington, Tampa in the who gives a fuck game. If you ask me.
I think this is the most intriguing one of the entire weekend because they're very evenly matched.
They're very evenly average is a better way to do it.
Fine,
Okay.
fair.
And it's the late game on Sunday. I'll be sad. The odds of me making it to the third quarter on Sunday are slim to none. Who do you like in that game?
I have the Commanders. I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's been like the surprise kind of story all season long. He's been like lighting it up for the team, carrying the team on like his back. And I just don't think the Bucs have a great defense. They have a lot of like stellar players. I love Chris Godwin, but he got hurt. I mean, Mike Evans been lighting it up, but I just don't see the Bucs.
Did you see the incentive that he got for that last couple yards on and how they celebrated it, Jimmy? You would have hated it.
You got $500,000. You got 250,000.
Guy gets 8 yards, and they celebrated like they won the fucking Super Bowl because
he got
paid.
You got $250,000 for that catch.
Of course. So, but
I like Washington in this game. I think they're the kind of the story of the year with Jaden Daniels and Tampa. It's an even game. I just think Starr's going to show up and Jaden Daniels going to get the win.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks.
It's an even game.
I'm a big believer in Baker Mayfield. I know I used to call him Boohoo Baker when he gets it down and out. You look at the sidelines, he's like a boohoo guy. Dude, when he's on, he's a dog.
It's 2 average teams slugging it out, which just makes for fun playoffs. Now the final game,
Monday.
All I have to say is, Madison, I know you're still very close to your mom.
Yep.
And I give you, if you choose the Rams here, because I don't know any Viking fans except for Madison's mother, Sue, who I've known for a very long time. She married my cousin Joey. Minnesota versus the Rams. Who are you picking in that one?
Well, I'm picking Minnesota, obviously. But I mean, I think it's going to be closer than people expect. I think LA is a team that like no one wants to play. They're like sneaky good under the radar. So I don't know if Sam Darnold has another moment like last week where he just can't
Sucked.
score a touchdown.
Seeing ghosts.
Throws every pass. Like, they're not going to win. But
Well,
if the Vikings face the Lions,
I think
the Lions all the way.
I think the future coach of the quarterback of the Giants is gonna play great, bounce back, and I like the Vikings in this game. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know. The Rams, just like Madison just said, like nobody. I don't think anybody wants anything to do with that offense because if Stafford is on and he's got Puka going crazy and Cooper Kupp and the running game goes nuts, like they can win that game. I'm a huge Vikings guy right now. I love first of all, if you haven't seen them, Jimmy, go look up all of their defensive celebrations this year. It's probably the best choreographed shit I've ever seen. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
And you know I'm gonna love that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Matt, you know what? You know we used to have great celebrations. Lawrence Taylor. You know what he would do? He would just go back to the sideline and sit and not say anything.
Oh, okay.
That's a good celebration.
Yeah, great
after the game, then he went to
Then he went
China Club
celebrating a little more after the game.
During the game.
Yeah, probably during the game. But no, I like the Vikings here. I like Sam Darnold to bounce back. And it's funny, man. Dan Campbell in true fashion, Lions head coach after the game at midfield when he's saying goodbye to or congratulations to the coach after the 1 seed battle. He goes, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's good.
He just knows it. He feels it in his bones. And I don't know if that's the way it'll shake out, to be honest. I'm not sure, but because they reseed in the NFL like they should. But by the way, the Vikings being 14-3 and having to go on the road,
Brutal.
Criminal.
It's just the way you know what? Every couple of years it shakes out.
I know.
The NFL does things as fair as they possibly can. But
bro, 14 wins. Some franchises have never seen 14 wins in their franchise history. And this guy's out there getting, by the way, that's very admirable. But get on the plane.
Giants haven't won 14 games in the last 4 years combined.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That might be a trivia question. Have the Giants ever won 14 games in a season?
Yes. In 86, they were 14-2.
All right, you psychopath. All right, fine.
They lost to the Cowboys on opening day. I was there.
Yeah.
And they lost to, I think, the Seahawks. My brother's gonna kill me for not. Now,
got a touchdown.
even though we're gonna break this down game week by week, you'll be on every Tuesday now.
You got the same amount of games.
Who do you like? Gun to your head. Who do you like to win the Super Bowl?
All right, so we're doing Super Bowl picks now. Go ahead, Maddie.
Just for right now, just off the cuff.
I'd want to see the Lions. I'm obsessed with David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, like Sonic and Knuckles. Gotta love it. Friend duo. They can't do anything without each other. And they just have so much talent. Like they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like I love Goff. I would love to have Goff just shove it up the Rams' ass and say, hey, look, I won a Super Bowl. You guys didn't believe in me. But they just have so many assets. Like they don't have one bad player.
The only problem is they've gotten bit with that injury bug so bad on the defensive side of the ball that they're letting up a lot of points. So you got to just be careful with that. But
I'm rooting for the Lions as well. Because they just haven't. That fan base deserves something. I
want the ratings nightmare. Give me the Vikings and the Chargers to be in the Super Bowl. Nobody's gonna give a fuck, and it's just gonna be like.
Well, I usually, as this gets closer, I root for the team. My rule is always now. Forget about gambling and stuff like that, and who you think. But I go by. I don't think I've ever met a Lions fan. So I
know a couple of them.
I know
it's a lot
from Michigan.
Yeah, but listen. The bottom line is, I root for the team. I hate to root for a team. The LA teams, I'm going to start not rooting for them eventually. But I don't want to hear that shit. But I'm rooting for the Lions as well. But we'll do it week to week. I just want to hear a little.
All right.
Dave, you think the Lions can win it? I guess obviously.
What about you, Dave? You didn't say.
I want the Vikings and the Chargers to go, and whoever wins. I mean, give it to the Vikings. Give it to Sam Darnold. What a better story. That dude has been through the ringer.
People come to the Giants and suck.
They wrote him off to be the worst draft pick in history, right? And the guy's about to be 2 wins away from being in the Super Bowl. It's that's to me, that's the story. That's the kind of shit you love football for, and that. Now I sound like
Madison, just a quick thing. Who do you think is going to win the WNBA championship?
Jesus fucking Christ.
We cover that a lot on the show.
Wait, when does the season start?
I don't really follow the NBA. Never mind the WNBA.
And also, what do you think? Who's going to win the major indoor soccer league?
Oh my God!
That league's gone, right? MISL.
No. The Red Bulls just lost the title game.
But is it called is it still called the Major Indoor Soccer League? No,
it's called MLS, Major League Soccer.
Yeah. Okay, it used to be called the Major Indoor Soccer League.
No, 1976.
Back in 76.
And the Cosmos were there, and Dave's
I
mom.
remember taking the train from into the city and seeing when they built that Red Bull Stadium by Newark there. I was like, what the hell is that thing? It looks like some kind of spaceship. And
Spaceship.
I got on the train. I was like, hey, what? The conductor. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell is that? He's like, you don't know what that is? I'm like, no. He's like, that's where the Red Bulls are going to play. I'm like, that's where you go drink Red Bulls? What? I thought it was literally a place like, come to this big shiny metal thing and drink Red Bull vodka here.
And for the record, Jimmy Palumbo is the only person in the history of mankind to actually talk to the conductor. By the way.
Yes,
I said the conductor. Like nobody fucking talks to the conductor. Just get on your chair and shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. A lot of fun. My best friend, he goes to at least 3 games per season.
They're a blast. Listen, believe it or not, soccer is still
a thing.
Still a thing. It's still one of the best, most popular sports in the world. So
yeah,
God bless.
And we're moving on, but stay on the show here because it's time for cornholelevel.com. That's right.
Christ, Jimmy,
Put
I'm
in
running low on
JP
time
show.
here, man.
We'll be fast. Cornholelevel.com sponsors a very important thing. It's called the NFL Stinks List. Now, this is the final 2024 Stinks List. We don't go by the playoffs because if you lose, you stink. And here it goes. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you how they finished and how they finished last year. Now, I find this unique. I did a little algorithms here. Where the hell's my shit? 11 teams stayed the same from year to year. And 9 of them were on the stinks list last year, and they stayed on the stinks list. Cool. So all you GMs out there, you suck. I bet you can figure out who stayed the same. Buffalo Bills, very good. Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, I'm sorry, you stink. The Baltimore Ravens, very good. Pittsburgh Steelers, average. Bengals, average. Browns, stink. Houston Texans, average. Colts, Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, all stink. Kansas City Chiefs, very good. Even though you got beat 38.
15-2 team in the history of football.
I know. Los Angeles Chargers, I got them as good. Denver Broncos is good and on the way up. And, of course, the Vegas Raiders, you stink. And we got the Philadelphia Eagles, very good. They finished last year average. I got the Commanders at good. I'm sorry, I got the Cowboys at stink. I think they tanked their game just to get a better pick. And the New York Giants, of course, that I don't have to say anything. Detroit Lions, very good. Minnesota Vikings, very good. So your mom will be happy there, Madison. And they finished last year as stink. So that's a big upgrade. Green Bay Packers, I reduced you down to good because the Bear game, you lost to the Bears. So if you lose to you stink. But I have them at good. Chicago Bears, you stink. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10-7. I got them at good. Falcons, your Carolina Panthers, I'm sorry, they stink. New Orleans Saints, they stink. They were 5-12. They were awful all year.
That's awful all year. They hung in with 5 games, 3 of the games in overtime. They're going to be above 500 next year. Them and the Seahawks, I'm telling you, next year are going to be 2 good teams.
Listen, the Giants finished only 2 games behind them in stink, and that's too much of a spread there. Let's see. The Los Angeles Rams average. Seahawks.
Lost Jimmy? Did we lose Jimmy? Thank God. Thank God. They couldn't have happened to a better person.
And Jimmy Palumbo stinks.
Jimmy Palumbo has entered the stinks list. Jimmy is completely frozen reading. Look, you know what the best part about this is?
What?
If you look down, he actually has little notes next to his stinks list. He's making an effort. I'm gonna get rid of him. Fuck him. He's gone now. So me and Madison are gonna take this out because I got to get my daughter from school, and that's that. But Madison, thank you so much for joining the Jimmy Palumbo Show. It's so funny. I think that as soon as I heard one skip in his whatever rant he was doing, I was like, he's gonna lose internet, and I got a feeling it's gonna happen right now. So that's it. Jimmy Palumbo says, "I love you and thank you." And now he's officially gone. Now he dropped off the face of the earth. I'm sure he'll try to come back on, but I want to close. So listen, go to Pine Tar Bar and Grill. I think we're gonna go there Saturday night for the playoffs. So go check them out. It's a great Steelers bar. I'm gonna wear my Cowboys hat and get booed out of the place. It's gonna be great. And of course, go to Lisa Ruane. If you're into the mental health thing and you got to go check out some therapy, Lisa Ruane will 100% help you out. She's helped out a lot of Jimmy's friends and probably helps out Jimmy from time to time as well. So For everybody at the Jimmy Palumbo Show, Dave Sturcio, Madison, Palumbo, we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy. And I guess I'd be remiss to say, like, oh, we're going to come back with a very special guest because that's what Jimmy says, and he never has a guest. But you never know. So Godspeed, and, good luck, Maddie. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
You got it.